Hello, all benders and non-benders, and welcome back to Avatar Generations. And today, we are taking another dive into Arena. Now, you might be asking yourself, why? Nothing has changed in a little bit since our last video. Well, I want to talk about a single person. A single person whose name strikes fear into the hearts of all Avatar Generations players. And that is Gooso. Gooso is the undisputed number one king of Arena. Second place isn't even close compared to his numbers. Now, why am I bringing up Gooso? We all know that he's pretty much untouchable up there on his ivory tower. Well, because the actual Mad Lad reached out to me and provided some awesome footage of his build and some of the strategies that he employs when he is actually doing the arena. Some of it is definitely either luck or spending based, where he's got very high level characters as far as our skill levels go. But some of it is also just having really good strategies that I do want to share with you today. So massive thanks to him for providing that. And let's get into it and see what this actual crazy person has to offer us. Okay, so looking at the build, first of all, we're going to look at Xinfu here, and we're just going to kind of go as he takes us. First thing, of course, he does have skill level 6. This guy, I gave him an honorable mention in my meta report video. That was a blatant mistake on my part. This guy is crazy. He is insane. He is frankly just absolutely nuts because he does a ridiculous amount of damage and he scales on defense, which means you can make him a bulky monster while also making him do an actual ton of damage. So looking at this here, the first thing you're going to notice is that he has gone for a full defensive set, not even holding back on that one. Also really lucky with that 4-star artifact mask, very nice. Rocking at a 45% accuracy, so only half of his artifacts actually have accuracy. So not even like an insanely crazy amount. Just kind of an enough to make sure that his bounties are attaching, assuming that the bounties do check resistance. But if I know that was pretty quick. But just looking at him, it's just basically, aside from this mask, which does have attack, his artifacts, their substats are accuracy, resistance, and then the amulet is defense, the map is defense, and the feather is just even more defense. Absolute nutty defensive stats here. The man is borderline unbreachable. He's got just a platypus bear here, always fun. And then this is something he actually called attention to when he sent me the clips, is this champion's belt. Only tier 2, and yet it does some pretty crazy stuff and is part of the key to why this guy can do so much damage. So looking at its passive here, it permanently increases Xingfu's damage when he defeats an enemy. We're going to kind of showcase that a little bit in some other clips, where he makes a point to take people down with Xinfu. So if we continue on here, the next character is going to be... Oh, we're showing... here we are. Okay, Iroh. Of course. Iroh is just definitively amazing. He's just max HP. He's just a bulky brick wall over here, because why not? He's got a lot of resistance, as you can tell. Kind of looking down here, if we can get this down a little bit, which we cannot, but that's okay. Looking just down, he's got an extra 120% resistance, which means he's got at least 4 of these artifacts with resistance, which is just insane. But for Iroh, yeah, almost everybody has an Iroh at this point. He's great. We know him. We love him. Always good. He's got just the Rhino for stats, and then the Masks of Ursa, which has definitely replaced the Statue of Kyoshi, since the Statue of Kyoshi got... It's not technically fixed, but it's at least been reined in. So that's Iroh. And then we're going to take a look at Boomy here. Once again, maximum HP with, once again, a really fantastic mask over here. Just insane luck. But he's got Even more accuracy, even more resistance. The mask is especially lucky because it rolled with accuracy, which I am extremely jealous of. I am so jealous of that mask. But then he's got more HP, and more HP. Just, again, another bulky monster. Boom, he scales on HP. And then he's actually got enough accuracy to make sure that all of his debuffs stick as well. So very important to note there. And then he's got the Genomite ring here, which is, of course, Boomy's kind of best in slot. That came with him on his banner. Just has even more turn bar removal just for the fun of it. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff there. The interesting thing is that I was just about to say that most of his relics aren't that high level. I say as we look at the blade of uh, the pirate blade. I'm not even going to try the pirate blade, but this was on a powerful opponent banner, so it's not quite as harsh. But aside from the masks, his 5-star relics were not too crazy high, and yet they serve to great effect. Now, this is interesting. This right here is very interesting. This is a strictly defensive-based Kiwak, aside from the attack here on the map, just to kind of round her out a little bit. She is extremely defensive. Went for the full defense set. Now, I have some theories as to why this is the case. First of all, she is kind of a pseudo-tank in that she has an endurance effect that protects her for the next either 2 turns or the next 5 hits. Fighting the AI, I can absolutely see this coming in handy. I mean, if Fire Nation Zuko coming at her, she's frozen and just eats a shot for free, I can absolutely see how that would come in handy. But another thing that I thought of, and I'd be very curious to hear if this is what he was going for. I'm doing a little speculation here. I didn't ask a lot of questions because I kind of wanted to have my own personal room for speculation. With the full defensive set, when you get below 25% HP, I believe it is, you hit the enemy's defensive stat for minus 25% permanently. Just taking down their stats permanently. And then she can even come back courtesy of her Frozen Shadow Tide ability. So I think that's kind of what we're going for here. Also, again, just having yet another brick wall character that can take a punch. This team is nuts. We do have the Snow Leopard Caribou here, giving some more defensive stats, and then the Blade here is a very good relic. Honestly, the only thing holding this relic back is the fact that it's a pirate relic and not more general, like waterbenders or something. That is the only thing holding this truly fantastic relic back. It is a crying shame. So, you can already see this team's a bulky nightmare, but let's get into a little bit of gameplay. Okay, so we're going to show a clip here from a match that he did. And a few things I want to point out here. He is not killing this Iroh. If it were me, I would have put this Iroh down in every way possible because I didn't want him to get away from me. But he is letting this Iroh live until he gets to Xing Fu's turn. We're just going to watch how this fight goes. See that Iroh went for the Kiwak. The enemy Kiwak went for the Kiwak. Didn't matter because she was in her Frozen Shadow Tide effect. The Boomy going for the enemy Kiwak. The Iroh, again, going for the enemy Kiwak. Ignoring the enemy Iroh completely, which is insane to me. But then, here comes Xing Fu over here, and that is when he unleashes pain on Iroh. What this basically has just done, it has permanently boosted Xing Fu's stats, his damage, which is where you really want. Obviously, he goes on to win this fight. I mean, it's not even close. It's insane. And then I believe Xing Fu just goes for a straight up AoE here, if I'm remembering correctly. Yup, he just goes for an AoE. This one is like, yeah, just wipes the team completely. It's insane. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, those of you who might have the Champion's Belt. And that honestly applies to anybody who can use the Champion's Belt, but especially Xing Fu. It is not a bad idea to try and save that kill to get that permanent stat boost. Last thing I want to talk about here is his usage of his focus. Now, when I'm playing, I tend to just use combos, trying to do as much damage in the moment as humanly possible, trying to get a kill. But I've actually noticed that he tends to use his ultimate quite a bit. If we get into this part of the battle here, I think I can take a guess as to why he uses his ultimate so often. He has two Earthbenders on the team, that being, of course, Boomy and Xingfu. The Earth element is insane in this game, with not only the chance to reduce turn meter, but also block buffs, and probably the most important thing, a high chance of just straight up stunning the enemy when it gets to their turn. And if you notice here, this ultimate that he just did applied a tier 3 earth element debuff to all of the enemies. This team is one small step away from being straight up incapacitated. I mean, that's just it. Aside from the Suki doing a counter, I mean, there's nowhere they can go at this point. That's just it. They're done. There is not a dang thing they can do. The team is just straight up incapacitated all the way. The Suki goes down, Xingfu's getting stronger, and then it's curtains for the team from here. I mean, there's no stopping this. There's just not. So kind of something to keep in mind is if you have at least two Earthbenders on the team, the ultimate might not be a bad idea to save up for. Like I said, I tend to use combos, but I'm starting to wonder if I need to have a second Earthbender and go for that instead. So just an absolutely insane team from an extremely high level player. Once again, extremely high props to Gooso. Thank you so much for providing this footage. Even though some of the levels might be unattainable for some of us mere mortals, at least the strategies behind it is definitely worth taking a note of, so that maybe you can keep track of these higher level teams and challenge them. Of course, I think the true strategy is just to get Xingfu. Let me tell you, when they do an Earthbender event, that banner's gonna have some serious consideration behind it as far as whether or not you spend your resources on it, because at the moment this dude is nuts. Okay, and just to finish this video off, we're gonna step up to the throne of the king and we are gonna spit at his feet, because we're just gonna go at this guy. It ain't gonna end well, but I kind of want to see it in practice just to get an idea of what it looks like on the defensive end, because of course we've seen the offense. You're not having to worry about AI on that front. Defensively, though, I have no doubt that this team's going to stomp me. They also just have dramatically higher stats than I do. This will also give me a chance to look at the skill levels of all the enemies. So I do kind of want to see that as well. But just wanted to give a little showcase here of this guy absolutely mowing me down. So here we go. So, Xingfu is obviously the huge threat here, so I'm going to try and get to him as soon as possible. We're just going to take a look here. The Boomy's actually skill level 1, which surprises me a little bit. We do have Iroh, once again, skill level 1. Interesting. It has them all listed as skill level 1 on my end. Maybe? Oh, okay, it has mine listed as skill level 1 too, actually. That's interesting. It doesn't actually show that they have a higher skill level. Okay, well, I guess I don't get any sneak peeks of that one. They leave that one hidden. Okay, well, I think we can just assume that his skill levels are very high. So, let's just see what nightmare happens here. Hey, my Boomy's faster. How about that? The moment he gets any momentum, he's gonna roll over me. It's just gonna be bad. Okay. The imbalance did not stop the Boomy. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, I'm going to try and get through Iroh, just because if I don't stop that Xingfu, it's not going to be pretty. Let's see, I do want to get the attack up before I use my advanced here. Oh, here it comes, here it comes. Oof, oof, and that's without any buffs. And Aang is stunned. That's not good. We need to get to Iroh so I can use my T. I require the T. Okay, how do I want to play this? Boomy I have the Yang Chen's memorial on, so I kind of want to save combos for him in case I need some emergency healing. We did some good damage to Iroh there. Uh-oh. Oh, and the Avatar state did not save me. That's unfortunate. That is highly unfortunate. Okay. Well, Iroh's not going to be able to get any healing anyway, because of course, that bounty is just giving a middle finger to me. Okay, so let's just, in a desperate attempt to save this, even though it is not going to work at all. He's still got some bleed on him. Well, we'll still use the Boomy. A decent hit there, but nowhere near enough to bring this guy down. Oof. My Iroh is falling. He is falling hard. You know, maybe we can at least punch through his Iroh. But no dice. Oh, and here comes his Boomy. Okay, no imbalances, that's nice. Oh, and he did a massive amount of healing. Absolutely insane. I don't think he's going to be able to heal, because I think he still has the bounty even after his move, but we'll see. No, he actually did heal. Okay, well, that might be the only thing that saves him. Ooh! That hurt! And you're at just about full health again. Oh my goodness. Oh, well. Yeah, there's that too. Maybe we can get some imbalances? Maybe? I'm wondering if it would have been a better strategy to hit the Boomy first, but at this point, I mean, honestly, against this team, to say that a strategy would have solved anything is probably a bit naive, because his stats are just so much higher than mine. There was no shot. No shot at all. Just doing nothing to the man. Oof. So yeah, as you can see, this guy is strong, and this team, this is currently the #1 team, basically. If you kind of structure yourself a little bit like this, then who knows, you might do better in Arena if you are finding yourself struggling. He is just, it's just mopping the floor with me. No shot. No shot at all. But yeah, so we'll let him have the honor of seeing my defeat on camera here. I say that like he would care. But he is a truly terrifying opponent here. Even the Iroh does damage, which is insane to me. Even the Iroh is hitting me hard. And there you go. That's all she wrote. That's all we got. So, yeah, just kind of felt it was kind of interesting to showcase this fight. But hopefully, you learn something from the build at least to see what in the world got him up that high. So yeah, hope y'all have enjoyed this very unique video, and we shall see you in the next video. Have a good one.